First of all, thank you for having me on this one. I'm super excited to share all the insights and learnings I've had in the course of trying to build Web Engage and servicing thousands of our customers globally. Let me quickly jump to the term omni-channel engagement. I do feel it's a very abused term. Historically, omni-channel engagement as a terminology has been used by retail companies, retail first companies trying to go digital, or vice versa, wherein you try to sort of move from servicing customers in one way. If you're a retail first, you want to go digital. You're trying to sort of make that giant leap ahead, and the way you engage with your customers in each of these settings is very, very different. In the context of how users or customers use services today, in the construct of a consumer enterprise, right, B2C enterprise, the touch points. If you're a very digital first or digital native business, customers are mostly likely interfacing with you on your mobile apps, on your websites. But if you're a more traditional business, more legacy business, something like a financial services, for example, right? Your customers are touching you across multiple touch points, right? Be it your app, be it your website. You do have a large army of operations, right? That includes sales operations, service operations, all of these touch points with your customer. If you zoom in, they actually run in silos, right? And people carve their own life cycle journeys within the context of these silos and interact with the end customer, not realizing it's the same customer that they're talking to. What we're trying to do and what we would like to do is to bring these organizations to the point where they're truly multi-channel in their engagement, in their user engagement, which basically means you should not think channels. You should not say, I have a 20 people team trying to do email marketing with my users, with my customers. I have a 10 people team trying to figure out our SMS, WhatsApp, and all these stories. And then of course you have if you're a digital business, then you have a separate mobile engagement team. There is no need for you to think that way. And that's the message I would like to drive home. In the true omni-channel context, channel does not matter. Whether you communicate with your users on emails or push notifications or WhatsApp, it does not matter. Cost ROI is separate, but if you really do this right, channels can be used interchangeably. And that's, in my view, that's truly a true omni-channel engagement. And we're trying to do this at Web Engage, help customers get there. Hopefully we'll be able to do this with a lot bigger pool. But yeah, to your question, I think in a nutshell, omni-channel engagement is when you don't think channel in the very first place. Sure. No, that's a very pertinent and important topic to sort of talk about, and I wish we had a lot more time in a different setting. I'm happy to do this at length because this is one of my favorite things to talk about. Like all things marketing tech, I keep using this. Personalization is also a very abused term, just like how omni-channel engagement was in the previous question that you wanted me to answer. I do feel personalization is also very abused, and it means different things to different people. But long story short, I think, there's, in the macro world, there's so many changes that are happening, which will reduce the importance or the mental space that CMOs have been giving largely to, retargeting via ad networks, or overtly relying on, publishers overtly relying on advertisement networks for driving more usage or revenue. I think the utility of all these platforms, because of all the restrictions that's going to come on third-party cookies, it's only a matter of time that these things will become a big hurdle in the way of operating, how CMOs and their team have been operating today, in how they look at their marketing spends. And I do feel that a lot of mental space is going to be now shifting towards first party data, which up till now hasn't gotten the due attention, and not without reasons, right? First party data is very complex. There's so much tech into trying to figure out, first party data, first party CRM, first party marketing. Everything first party is very difficult. It is not just a marketing thing, right? It needs a fair bit of involvement from your tech, from your product, from pretty much all the way to the top. It needs its own attention, and if done right, it can do wonders. But then again, it's a journey. It's a journey on going on the first party track. I think as the utility of some of these third party cookie platforms will go down, their relevance will go down, the spends on those will go down. I do believe CMOs and their counterparts will start looking at first party more seriously, will start giving it the attention that it needs. And I think, once you align your org towards first party principles, everything else is easy. You spoke about personalization. I mean, it's crazy what you can do with modern day tools like WebEngage. You can actually, without even knowing the user, anonymous user, personalize a message to them, which was based on what they did in their previous session with you. You can go that far, and none of this is rocket science. It just needs a little bit of orientation, and that focus on trying to make first party data and first party marketing work. But if you really wanted to, this is actually a piece of cake. So I do believe it's going to become more and more relevant, and personalization is only the very first step towards building customer loyalty. The fact that you're able to offer wow experiences to a customer every time they interact with you, whether they land on your site, they land on your app, they interact with your sales representative, or they make a call to your call center. If you have context, if you already have the context of why they've come again, which in majority of the cases, nearly half the cases you actually have, just trying to put it to work can create wonders in customer sentiment. So yes, I think it's going to be a big theme, and as the shift to first party data and first party marketing happens, it's only going to become more and more mainstream. I wish I had the answers. I would be so many steps ahead in the curve, but I can only share what I've come to know with interacting with folks like yourself. In the previous response, right, to your question on personalization, I was stressing on first party. I think that's going to be the key driver of all growth within these organizations. Their focus is going to shift, and for good, and that will basically lead to this creation of this talent pool, right? Retention is a very specialized skill. I won't say rare, but it's a very specialized skill, right? Whether you look at retention from a marketing lens, or you look at it from a product lens, right? In one case, you're very engagement heavy. In another case, you're very analytics heavy in your thought process. But irrespective, if you are somebody to do with retention as an operator, you're a different kind of a person, and you're a rare species, right, today. And that's one big challenge why first party marketing and first party engagement has not gotten to its level that it should have within organizations. Is largely to do with the talent pool. So as more and more attention shifts towards first party, my view is that this talent pool is going to become bigger and bigger, and which is only great for all of us, over a period of time. The trend, I don't want to be the person telling you AI one more time in your lives. You've heard about it enough. But it is going to make some solid changes in the lives of marketing teams, of how they actually look at their data and how they look at their engagement. Companies like us, we have actually focused ourselves deep into the world of AI, trying to do things that were earlier very difficult to even envision or think. It's not that they've suddenly become easy. Of course, a lot of these things continue to be challenging, but now we have frameworks to build on, now we have models to play with, and I think it's only a matter of another few years. A lot of what is manual work by marketing teams, be it in the form of, not just manual, but also mental work, trying to figure out, if you had like millions of users, right? Trying to just figure out the top 20 segments that you should focus on of these users itself is a task, and it's a very tough one. It's a very tough one because it's a lot of hit and trial, a lot of trying to figure out your own nuances within the data and trying to come up with certain hypotheses, build segments, do some experiments. There's a lot of these, it's difficult, and that itself needs a strong degree of maturity, right, within these teams. So I think I won't call it a trend. It's there, and it's there for real. It's only a matter of time when some of these solutions become out of the box, become easy. They don't need bespoke solutioning. So far, that's been that, right? It's been a lot of bespoke solutions in the past. I think another year or so, these things will become solutions out of the box. And in my view, the lives of our retention marketers, they dramatically change after that. The kind of insights these systems, including WebEngage, can bring to you will be absolutely insane. Something that you can't even imagine today. So yeah, I'm particularly excited about all the opportunities and all the exciting work that me and my team are doing there. And I think AI as a trend for more hyper-personalized engagement, more accurate first-party database targeting will become mainstream, right? So there's 2 points: talent pool and a lot of AI. Yeah, another important topic at this time. There is we've been servicing global clientele at WebEngage, so some semblance of compliance on laws like GDPR, etc. We've always had. Now with DPDP in India coming, we are now at a point where we are understanding what the tentacles for us as a data processor are. WebEngage is a data processor for our customers, and I think we do take this very seriously. From any be it all the ISO certifications or anything on data or compliance side, including SOC 2, etc. We are a fully compliant company, and last 3-4 years we've just spent a lot of management bandwidth in trying to get these things in order. But I think, to your question, what is largely going to happen is consent management, right? Historically has been not one of the most favorite things within the marketing or product realm, right? So if you get a user to sign up, or if you get a user to visit you in some way or the other, you practically own the user, and by virtue of getting them to do a few checkboxes here and there, you absolve yourself of responsibilities that may arise in the future because the customer doesn't like to be heard from you. I think what will become more mainstream is very strong consent management platforms, where the user is a little bit more empowered as compared to today, and they can seamlessly opt out of anything. And when I say anything, it's in anything that you provide as a service to your users. So at WebEngage, we'll be building this to the point that not just the laws and the compliance frameworks would want us to do, because the onus of collecting data is actually on our customers. WebEngage is a data processor. We want to help them do that right and do that very well, right? So that's one big focus area for us here at WebEngage. I know I'm too old for all this. This answer may not resonate with the rest, but I would love to. I'd love to actually have seen brands send a lot of postcards to their customers, handwritten if at all. And I know all of this is out of fashion now, but the joy of receiving a snail mail, a letter, I think it's unmatched. For people who have not experienced that, I'm sure there are a lot of young people watching this, and they probably don't know what a postcard is, which is all right. But if I really had to, right, from those golden old days, I used to love writing postcards as a child to my family members and friends. And I would have loved to see brands actually do that to their customers. It would actually be wonderful. I do feel that.